Alright YouTube, so I'm going to do this video for steaming crabs. I got a video I did a while back. I think it's called something like smoking salmon and steaming crabs or something like that. And I ain't really show anything about doing the crabs. I just showed the end results. And I got a comment from a viewer asking about it and how you steam the crabs or whatever. And I thought it'd be interesting to do that. So that's what we're going to do. As you know, I've mentioned on a number of my videos, I live in Maryland. So I'm going to show you how to steam Maryland blue crabs, Maryland style. I've mentioned on some other videos, this is a big thing around here. Crabs are big in our state. We live on the Chesapeake Bay, so we do a lot of fishing out of the bay, pull a lot of crabs out of there, and this is how you hook them up. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need is a crab pot. Alright, it's a big pot. If you don't have one, and you might not, you can do these in batches. This just lets you do a whole lot at one time. If you don't have a crab pot, you can do them in batches and just, whatever the biggest pot is you have in your house, pull it up and, just use that, and you can do a dozen, 2 dozen at a time or whatever. I don't have, I didn't get a whole bushel today. I've got like 5 dozen. That's about half a bushel of the size that I have. Maybe, yeah, that's about half a bushel, maybe a little bit more. So I'm going to do those, and they should all be able to fit with no problem in this crab pot. So I won't have to do batches. I'm going to do mine at once. And you got some people that believe in doing batches anyway. They only believe in steaming 12 or 14 or 16 crabs at a time or whatever. I don't believe in that. I believe if you can fit them in the pot, put them in the pot, and get it on. Alright, so, alright, we're going to get this on. We're going to add a pot of water to it. Normally I would just pour the water in here in the pot before I bring it out. And that's about an inch worth of water on the bottom of this pot. This is a very large pot. And that's probably a little bit much, and I'm going to dump a little bit of it out. You're steaming these, you're not boiling them. Alright, so here we go YouTube, here go the crabs. These are Maryland blue crabs. They're live, you cook them live, as you can see. Now we bought these maybe 2-3 hours ago. And what you do is you keep them on ice. They're not as feisty as they normally could be. But you see they're definitely alive. They're moving. He's moving slowly. But what happens is when they're on ice and they're very cold, they get lethargic. And they stop moving around. And they don't do anything. Now that's good for you actually when it's coming time to put them in the pot, because they're easy to get in the pot. They're not fighting. Normally they're clawing and they're fighting and they're trying to bite you and hit you with these. Normally he'd be trying to hit me with that. But he's not doing it right now. I prefer when they fighting, basically. I think they taste better when they fight their way into the pot. And I gotta fight to get them in there, but whatever. That's what it is. So when you put these in the pot, the only thing you gotta make sure of is that every crab is alive. You can't eat dead crabs, so if they're dead before they go in the pot, they're no good. That's why you cook them live. This is the Maryland blue crab again. It comes from the Chesapeake Bay. Best crabs ever. These are regular size, so they're, regular is a euphemism for small as far as I'm concerned. But this is all I felt like paying for today, and this is what I paid for. These were $25 a dozen, I think. You can get various sizes. You can get the regular, and then you can get the large, and then you can get jumbo. I think the large are going for 40 or 45 a dozen, and I think the jumbo now are going for like 60, 65 a dozen. So they can be very expensive. I didn't get a whole bushel today, which we often do. I got about 5 dozen. I got 5 dozen, and that's about a half a bushel. All right, so we're going to get these in the pot. What you're going to do, and I've got, as I said, I got water in this pot. You're just going to toss them in. I don't do anything. If you look down here, actually, look at this guy. He's starting to liven up. And you can see, this is what I'm talking about. See? He doesn't want to go in the pot. He's wary. He's looking. He can see me. He's reaching up. There you go. See? He doesn't want to go in. But we all got to go in, buddy. Well, all of you do. So that's all you want to do is you're getting them. You want to make sure everyone is alive. Now, this is a dead crab. And this is what you're looking for. And you can tell he's dead. He's not just lethargic. He's limp. His legs just flop over. He ain't moving. He ain't doing nothing. He's a dead crab. So one of the things you keep in mind as you go to your vendor that you buy your crabs from, well, these guys are getting more and more lively, so I don't have any gloves. Let me hold on one second, YouTube. I'll be right back. Alright, so here we go. We'll get some tongs because they're starting to come to life. We're gonna get these guys in here. We've come across 2 dead ones so far, and one of the things you're gonna keep in mind as you go to your crab, whoever you're getting your crabs from, he's alive. One of the things you're gonna keep in mind is if you buy crabs from somebody who's regularly selling you dead crabs, buy crabs from somebody else, because that's a lot of money you're spending for a bunch of dead crabs that you can't cook and can't eat. Alright, so we'll see how it turns out. I'm sure it'll be fine. The place I went to today, somewhere I regularly go. But you see, these are quite lively. They're really feeling good about themselves, and I feel good about that. Get them in there. Get them. Whoa! Now he's dead. This was alive. I saw him moving when he was on the ground. You can also, by the way, YouTube, you can also, when they are actually in the pot, after you cook them, when you're eating them, if you accidentally put a dead one in there, you can tell. As soon as you try to eat it, you will obviously know it was dead when you cook it. It doesn't taste right, it doesn't look right, it's not the same color. Alright, so let's take a look at that pot, and this is what you're going to do. We got a layer of them in there. We got some good Old Bay. The best seafood seasoning ever. And what you're going to do is get a layer of them in there, and you're going to sprinkle a lot of Old Bay on top of it. Because crabs love Old Bay. Alright? Now we're going to do this again for several other layers of the same thing until we get it filled up to the top. We'll get it, whatever, all the crabs we got in this pot. Then we'll come back and show you how you finish it out. Alright? Peace. Alright, YouTube, we back. We got the pot set up. Out of that 5 dozen, we ended up with like 8 dead crabs. And that's too many for 5 dozen. If you consider 25 a dozen for 8 dead crabs, that's, you know, 2/3 of a dozen, 2/3 of $25. You're talking about, you know, something like 16 bucks you just lost on 8 dead crabs. So you don't want that many. But like I said, the market I got them from is good. We usually don't get that many dead crabs out of them. Out of 5 dozen, you might not want more than, you know, 3-4 dead crabs at the most. But it is what it is. So let's take a look in the pot and see what we got. Got your water on the bottom. You got your, we ended up with 3 levels. So we got 3 levels of seasoning in the pot. And then what we're gonna do is 22-ounce Heineken. And we're gonna pour it around the pot a little bit. You see how they livened up? Crabs actually like Heineken, an amazing thing. And then we'll put the rest down the side. Alright? Don't steam any Maryland crabs without putting the beer in there. Even if it's not Heineken. If you like something else, do something else. But there's gotta be beer in the crabs. And if it's not, it ain't right. Don't let anybody else tell you that. Anything different. Alright? There you go. Now what we're gonna do, get a flame going on this burner. You can do this in the house too, obviously. It works better for me on this burner outside because I can heat it up a lot better. Put the pot lid on, and that's it. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. It takes a while when it's this big of a pot. They're gonna heat from the bottom. The steam's gonna start to cook. That beer smell is gonna permeate. That moisture from the beer is gonna start to permeate the crabs. You get a nice little juice from the bottom. They're gonna be really good. They're gonna go from being. Take another look at here. This is why they call them Maryland blue crabs, because as you can see, they're blue. The shells are blue. These little claws are blue. They have these shades of blue in there. They're gray and blue. Well, when they're done, they're all going to be bright orange. And so they're not going to be blue at all, but that's what they look like when they're done, and that's how you know they're done. So I'm going to get back with you at the end. We'll take a look, and then we'll take a taste. I'm even going to show you how to eat it. Peace. All right, I'm back. So we're going to check this out. I think they're probably about ready. Let's take a look. You see the steam coming out. If you can smell it, it smells real good. They're all right. You can look at them and tell they're right. And I'm going to show you. Let's take a look at the pot. Just like I was telling you before I cooked them, they're orange. That's how you know blue crab is ready. When it's not blue anymore, it's orange. Alright, so I'm going to kill this fire. We don't need that flame anymore. We're going to take these out in the house. We're going to get them set up on the table. And just like I promised you, I'm going to show you how you eat one, just in case you don't know. Alright? Get right back. Am I in this picture or just a crab?
No, it's both. Make sure you get him.
Alright, so by the way, I wanted to show you what the difference is between a male and a female crab is. But, Pat, if you don't stop. But we only got males. But what I can tell you is the difference is in this piece right here. So I can't show you what it looked like on the female because I don't have a female crab. But this piece looks very much different on the female crab. It comes out, it's a lot shorter, and it spreads a lot wider. But that's the way you tell the difference between the male and female crab. The significance of it, they cost different prices. They cost different prices for different reasons. Because people, prefer one or the other. Males tend to be larger. Females tend to be a little more sweet. So depending on what you like, and then you get a mix. You can get all females, all males, whatever. All right. So what you can do is, this is how you eat them, and it's hot. You get the legs, grab them, and pull them out. All right. Do it on the other side. It's very hot. Do the same thing with the claw. The claw later you can crack. You can crack it with your teeth. There's meat in this side. There's also meat in this side. And you can crack those with your teeth or a nut cracker. And you can eat the claw meat if you want to. A lot of people don't do it. So you pull that piece out like I just did. Then you reach in to the inside of the shell. Grab. Oh, that's hot. Grab the other piece, separate it. Call these the dead man fingers. Those are the gills for the crab. You don't have no parts of those. Peel those out. Ah, very hot. You flip it over. Actually, you got a little meat right there. Pretty tasty too. Flip it over and just pick it up. Put your thumbs in the middle and crack it. And then you got it open. And now you got both sides of the crab that's available. And there's cartilage on the outside, not cartilage, but shell. But you just peel that off as you eat it. And you can see, you take that, even with a little shell, you just put it in your mouth. And that's it. Maryland blue crab. Get you some. Come to Maryland. If you've never been here before, make sure you make the trip. Look me up when you get here. I'll hook you up. Peace.